So I'm coming outside to get my car to go to work, and look at this shit. I just wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas Eve and a Merry Christmas. This is going to be the last one I make before the holiday or before Christmas. So, and also a big shout out to all you active duty folk out there. Thanks for standing the watch and holding down the fort. Trust me, coming from somebody that missed a lot of Christmases while being deployed, I know the feels, and I appreciate it, guys, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for holding it down for us. Now let's hop into this Q&A. I don't know, Q&A. I don't know what this is. I really enjoy making these videos and looking at y'all's questions. Some of them are pretty funny, so I tried to pick some interesting ones to answer for you tonight. I don't know. Now for the next Q&A, I want to try to do these maybe like at least once a week or once every 2 weeks. So that it doesn't have to be just Navy related. It could be anything. It can be, you know, about my car or my tattoos or my motorcycle or my school or my dog or whatever, or the Navy. It can be anything. So just for future questions. Now into the first question. It's from Jordan Clift. He says, all right, man, so I leave for the Navy in June and everything was going good up until out of nowhere I developed this fear of falling off the ship during a deployment. Think you can make a video talking about how likely or common it is and the measures you or the Navy take to prevent such things from happening. So, Jordan, interesting question. I like the question. I don't think I've touched on this off of falling off the ship, really. So to answer your question, Jordan, basically, if you don't work on the flight deck or around any weather decks, then there's no reason really for you to be scared of falling off the ship, because you wouldn't have to go out there if you're really truly scared of this. If this is if this causes you a lot of anxiety, then just don't go out there. Just stay inside the hull of the ship. You'll be plenty safe. If you do work on the flight deck, then you have to wear this thing called a float coat. Now what a float coat is, it basically has all these little nifty gifty things in all these little places. You got like a little whistle, you have a saltwater activated flotation device, you have a little dye packet that turns colors if you hit the water. So it has all these little things to help you if you fall off the ship. Now, like I was saying, you have to wear them if you work on the flight deck because that's the most dangerous place, right? You can get blown off with your rotor arc, you can get blown off with the F-18 exhaust, you can slide off, you know, off the deck edge for some reason, and they have these little nets that are supposed to, you know, these nets are not going to catch anybody. Like, you look over the deck edge, and the net's maybe sticking this far out. Like, the person's going to go flying off. Like, at least get a huge net or something. I don't know. But the nets are small. They're not going to work. So, yeah, the float coat is up there to protect you if you fall off the ship. Now, I worked on the flight deck for almost 2 years when I was deployed, and I never encountered anybody that fell off the ship. I have heard stories of people falling off, but most of them survived because it is an 80 to 90 foot drop. But like I said, you have a saltwater activated float coat, so it goes psh, and you're good. Now, I guess another reason you could fall off is if, like in a bad storm, if you're wondering about storms. Well, if there's a bad storm, obviously we're gonna know about it before we hit it. So they secure all flight deck and weather decks unless you're mandatory personnel. So like me, I was a landing signalman enlisted. I had to, you know, land and launch the helicopters. So during heavy storms, we had to go up and do 20 chains tie downs on all the aircraft. Normally it's 12 chains, I think that it was, on the aircraft, but then for heavy weather, we had to do 20 chains. So we were up there in the heavy storm, you know, rain's coming all crazy, the huge waves, putting all these chains on. So yeah, that's kind of dangerous if you're in a storm. But like I said, there's a lot of safety precautions that the Navy takes, and you're not really going to be put in that dangerous of a situation to where you might fall off the ship. All right, so question number 2, Lorenzo asks, you do have ADHD? Question number 3, Richard Stewart asks, you have flat feet? Actually, I do have flat feet. I have a size 13 feet. They're like flippers, man. Like when I swim, it's major propulsion from my feet. But anyways, yeah, it was actually an issue that the Navy, they were almost not going to let me join because they were so flat. But I think the MEPS guy, he let me through. This reminded me of a negative thing about when I was stationed in Japan, or going all over the Southeast Asian countries. I couldn't find shoes anywhere that fit me because I got size 13 flat feet. So if you have, like, I'd say maybe like 10 or over size feet, or maybe like 11, it's gonna be hard for you to find shoes in Japan and Asian countries. If you have big feet, yeah, it's kind of a pain. All right, question number 4. Matthew Garcia asks, I heard the Navy can have full beards. Is that true? No, that is not true. I don't know who's telling people stuff that people can have beards. There's Wi-Fi. These are fallacies. It's not true, people. So for the beard thing, no, you can't have a beard. The facial hair is actually pretty strict. If you do see people with beards, it's probably because they have a no shave chit. A lot of black dudes would get no shave chits because they would get bumps from shaving, like the white bump things. So they would get, a lot of them get no shave chits for that. Also, they give out no shave chits sometimes on deployment if they're trying to like boost morale or like for MWR or raise money. You can buy like a no shave chit for like 2 or 3 weeks and grow out a beard. But normally the facial hair regulations, it's like you can have a mustache, right? But it can't go below here and it can't go over your lip. Also, you have to shave. You have to shave, and your sideburns cannot go below here, your ear, and you have to have all clean. You know, you can't have any hair growing. It has to be all shaved and clean. And yeah, that's all that for facial hair regulations. So for the last question, to end it on more of a serious note, I picked, the question is, overall, do you regret joining the Navy, military in general? Also, would you have rather joined another branch than another job? Thanks. So for the another branch, another job question, the actual first recruiter office I walked into was the Air Force recruiter's office. The guy gave me this huge packet and he was like, all right, go fill out all this paperwork and come back. I was like, what the heck? I was like, this is like a short story. This is like a book that I gotta fill out. It's gonna take me years. I'm not gonna do this. So I walked next door to the Navy recruiter and they were like super helpful, and you know, I bada bing, bada boom to my ASVAB, and the rest is history. And do I regret joining it in general? No, I don't regret joining it. The reason I intended to join the military in the first place was to go to college for free, to learn a job, to learn a skill, you know, that I didn't know before, and to set myself up for the future for success. So it did all those things. I learned how to be an aviation mechanic, although I wasn't the best at it, but I got other good things out of it, like good leadership skills, time management, got to travel the world, a bunch of perks. Not only does it look good on your resume, but employers get tax breaks for hiring you, and I get to go to college for free and all these awesome things. So no, I don't regret it one bit. I think I appreciate being in the Navy and for being where I am here today, and want to be for, yeah, all the things that I've been through. So yeah, definitely don't regret it. Alright guys, so that's gonna wrap it up here tonight on this Christmas Eve almost for this Q&A. I hope you guys have a great Christmas, and as always, stickers below, we're almost done with those, and social media stuff below. And if you want to have more, and if you have any more questions for me for the next Q&A, let me know in the comments. It could be anything, and we'll see you guys soon. All right, goodbye.